I'm not gonna lie. Um, I named this before I even looked at the chart because I just kind of felt that way with how everything is. Um, and not gonna lie, it actually kind of goes with it because I literally named it like, what the fuck are you doing, boo? Like that freaking meme with that guy. It's literally like the picture I keep seeing in my head. But with this full moon being in Scorpio, which like I've told you guys, full moons are when the moon opposes the sun. And we have this Scorpio energy over here literally opposing all the Taurus energy. Um, which there is a stellium of Taurus energy that is conjunct, which is beautiful. Um, so we got full moon energy mixing with Uranus energy, which loves to be unpredictable and just, whatever with that. We have it mixing with Venus energy with our relationships, possibly money, because Venus in Taurus is like some money energy. And then also mixing with Mercury in Taurus, which is a pretty stubborn energy, but it's also an energy that can ground ideas very readily, for good or bad. This is very rapid energy. Like I've been telling you guys for the past couple astrology things, that once we hit Taurus, things, even though Taurus is a slow sign, things were going to start becoming physical very rapidly. If you want to look at it a certain way, it's pretty much everything that's been up in the air that we've been trying to kind of find some footing with within the next like 4 weeks or so is literally gonna be grounded. So whatever we've been putting our energy into, we're gonna start seeing tangible results within the next few weeks, especially with this full moon. Sun, Venus, and Mercury moved into Taurus on Monday. So that stuff's already going. Tomorrow, Venus is going to be... Hi, Ruby. Tomorrow, Venus is going to be conjunct Uranus, which is a whole thing on its own. And then Friday, Mars is moving into Cancer, which is a thing on its own. There's just a lot happening with this. There's... Excuse me. There's also this sextile energy going between Mars moving into Cancer and the Sun and Uranus, and a trine going between the Moon and Mars. So Mars is having a dandy time throwing itself into this right when it moves into Cancer. This can make for some emotional outbursts that, not gonna lie, you thought Aries was bad. This is mixing in the will of Taurus and Scorpio, which are fixed signs. Like, Aries is a cardinal sign, it'll get some shit started. But Taurus and Scorpio for damn sure are gonna finish it. Having it mixing with cardinal energy, with Mars being in Cancer, which means this Mars itself is a starter. Cancer is a cardinal sign, which is a starter energy. This is gonna be us subconsciously starting things, whether, like I said, good or bad. It's gonna be happening. Like, we're just gonna be doing things. But our emotion is gonna be going off of emotion. So if you're in an emotional place where you're pretty sound and you're doing pretty good, more than likely this is going to be a huge creative burst for you that could possibly like make another stream of income. If you're not in the best place right now, this could easily be emotional outbursts that deal with family, that deal with security, deal with money, deal with feminine figures, because the moon is mixed into this. It could also be unexpected motherhood. Yeah, because they're Venus and Mars are mixed in here. That's a whole lot of intimacy and sex, and you got the 8th house of intimacy over here. There definitely could be some news of that. For some people, it'll be a joyous thing. For others, it's like, I mean, it's gonna be like a challenge overcome, like you finally get a kid. For others, it's gonna be like, oh shit, is gonna be the feeling here. Because this is a challenging aspect, going both between Neptune and going between Chiron. And Neptune's in the 4th house with family. So there could have just been a lot of challenges with creating a family, and like this is making it, while working through them, you can actually do it. For others, it's gonna be the challenge of, oh shit, there's an addition to the family, what are we gonna do now? That kind of thing. But also having this challenging energy pairing up with Chiron in the 5th house of children. This is like healing of the self through children. And like I said, Cancer energy, once again, is that home mothering energy. Just a lot of parenthood coming out with this. If you're not wanting to get pregnant or you've been having symptoms, this is probably going to be one of those things where you're like, oh shit, and getting an answer. For others, this is going to be major inner child healing, because this is getting deep down to your roots, deep down in your subconscious, especially if you have trauma that deals with feminine energy and feeling worthy of acceptance, of receiving, and things like that. This is some deep down, like, digging growth that is going to be happening here. And being subconsciously pulled to it. Like, your intuition is going to be on fire for doing things. 5th house is also entrepreneurship, starting a new business, birthing new ideas and creativity. You could start stepping into things that are very healing for you and creating in that fashion. Like soul works is basically how I feel about this. Is pretty much like, you know, soul projects that possibly weren't ready, but now they're finally coming to fruition. Especially if you've been working on them a long time, this Taurus energy is like, hey, let's go ahead and make it a reality. Like I said, for some of you, this is going to be lucrative. For others of you, this is you completely changing your routine to where this is what you're doing. It's like learning the balance and realizing just what you've been tucking away and how it's been affecting you physically. When it comes to pretty much all areas of your life, because you got relationships, you got your mental creative energy, you got this random higher mind energy, you got your heart and your inner child, all that sitting in Taurus. And getting this spark, I'm like hearing spark of like divine inspiration just being like sprinkled in with this Mars Cancer energy. Also with Saturn right now, having all these squares going between all this is major upheaval, guys. And this is literally, I believe, the day before Pluto goes retrograde, because I think it's the 27th Pluto goes retrograde. So all these things are shifting. They've been shifting since last Friday. They're just continuously, like every single day, there's pretty much something happening. So this is going to be the full moon right before the planet of the depths goes retrograde, and we're revisiting shit. So, There's going to be a lot of karmic energy being pulled out at this moon. Like, literally, like, everything is doing the most over here. If you have Leo placements that close to these degrees, which I do, you're having a grand cross. Just for those of you that want to know that, if you guys have anything from 0 to about 15 degrees Leo, you're definitely getting some grand cross energy at this full moon. I'm just smack in the middle with 9. But you guys are definitely having a lot, like multiple. It's not just one. Like, there's at least 4, depending on where your degree is. If you have anything less than, actually, I would say 3. There would be 3 or 4 Leo to the 15. Not 0, because this 12 degree over here. But because there needs to be an opposition between the Leo and the Aquarius energy for it to be a grand cross. But if you have any of those degrees, you're going to have between 1 and 4 grand crosses chilling out across your chart. And if you have multiple Leo placements in that degree range, then you're going to have even more than that chilling out in your chart. This is going to feel very heavy, and I can actually see why I felt like naming this video this. Because that is pretty much a huge thing of, like, stuff just being, like, chunked on you, like, in one day. Just completely thrown on you. Like, this past couple weeks has been, like, every day we're getting something new handed to us. Very heavy energy. It's not like just little movements or something like causing a nice sextile to something. It's pretty much been like planets moving, signs, this freaking full moon over here having multiple conjunct planets, having things conjunct with Uranus, which loves doing unexpected shit. Chiron's in Leo. The way you know with degrees, you can actually go to your Chiron and it'll tell you here, Jean. Just look at, because the first one's the degree, and this is like minute and seconds over here. So, like, at this moon, Chiron is at 10 degrees, which is why it's over here, just in range of having that square with Mars being at 2 degrees. So if you're not sure and you have your chart, just look at the first number. And like I said, if it's between like 4 and 15 Leo, it's making the grand cross. Like, that's just, you can like have that for a safe fact there. I'm trying to see what else we got going on here. You're just out of it then with that 3. Yeah, you barely missed the grand cross, man. You're gonna still feel it kind of heavy, I'm not gonna lie, but it's like, because it's kind of close to it, but it's not gonna be actually forming in your chart with any of these, because it needs to have that opposing energy to Saturn. You're gonna have squares happening, but you're not gonna have the grand cross energy. I mean, for you, you're probably like, okay, great, I'm good with that. Like, I don't need that big old red Xbox in my thing. But for others of you having those, definitely. The career energy, though, which is interesting, is actually in Leo. It's not within degrees. But it being in Leo is like really putting a spotlight on career. Like I said, for some people, if this thing isn't about children and it's about creativity and starting businesses or business ventures, creative ventures, this is pretty much like spotlight being shown on it. Like, especially if you've been having a difficult time, like, you know, you just feel like it's not getting the attention it deserves. This is highlighting career for those of you that are like this. going through this thing. For those of you that it is children, it's pretty much getting that blessing, because this freaking Jupiter down here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this little Jupiter down here is like literally hunching the IC. Barely off by like a few minutes, like maybe 5 minutes, if that. And what this is doing is basically bringing this huge boon of blessings and stuff when it comes to community, when it comes to friendships. This is in the 4th house of family, so it could be, like I said, with children, literally getting the blessing of expanding the family, because Jupiter's expansive energy. Like, this is going to be for those that really want that. It's like giving that blessing. For those that you're not looking for that, this is more you starting to really dive, like I said, that soul project, that soul work I was talking about. This is you really finding, it could be like a niche that you're finding where you finally find where you belong. Like, you know, that community type thing, you find where you belong while being yourself, like being like your unique self, you find it finally, and you get the blessings you've been waiting for with that. This could also be luck in court cases dealing with family, because this is having some 8th house energy being thrown in here. If you're having placements being affected by this, this could actually be a positive, because these are trines. This could be positive energy for you when it comes to court cases, depending on where you have these placements. Like late degree, I cannot talk. Don't mind me and my non-words over here. But late degree Aquarius, early degree Scorpio, and Cancer. It can even be late degree, because late degree Cancer and Scorpio is going to be more squaring energy, so you want it actually early degree Cancer energy. But trying to see, and since we know the next day, pretty much it's either the next day or 2 days. I can't remember if it's the 27th or the 29th that Pluto goes retrograde. My brain isn't wanting to remember right now. But you guys just laughing at me and my inability to speak over here. But this energy with Pluto going retrograde happening so quickly, this is actually gonna hit us kind of funny, because we've been moving kind of forward with things. We've been going through our transformations and pushing through things. There's actually been this, and there still will be, a sextile between Pluto and Neptune. But one thing we have to realize, this getting kicked off, especially if you're diving into soul projects, if you've been having trouble, once Pluto goes retrograde, it's going to be so much easier for you to revisit what you've been struggling with. It's almost like you've been trying to push, like, Pluto literally looks like a pea, and it's reminding me of push. But, oh my god, and pregnancy. Okay, like, there is definitely a lot of that energy sitting in this chart. There's creativity, there's new creations, there's children, there's just a lot of heavy energy dealing with that in this chart. For some people, it's karmic to be getting these things. Some of you are getting things back that you've put a lot of hard work in, and it's going to make you very emotional. Or you might just have a tough time trying to balance out your mental and physical body, and if you're going through that, definitely change up routines, even if you feel like you're very stuck in them, like you're really stubborn, because Taurus is a very stubborn energy. Find things that make you more comfortable, that bring you peace and harmony to your surroundings, because if things are kind of chaotic, especially with Uranus being mixed in there, you need to have a place for solitude. God, my freaking allergies, dude. But like I said, if you're feeling kind of blocked and you feel blocked up to the full moon, and then pretty much after it, all of a sudden things start easing up, like with Pluto going retrograde. It's like you're able to revisit these things and understand why it wasn't working, and then find new ways to work it. Things are getting close to starting the retrogrades, because once things go into Gemini, there are going to be more retrogrades, because all the air signs this year have the retrogrades chilling out in those signs. So once we start getting everything out of Taurus, like I said, we got a few weeks with this energy. There's going to be a lot going on in Gemini. I mean, we already got a lot going on in Gemini with that North Node by itself over there, just trying to aspect every damn thing. But I know it's not showing it for you guys, so I'll just kind of let you guys see this. That full moon, once it moves up 2 more degrees, is going to be having an inconjunct to the North Node, which is beautiful. I'm just over here like, yay. But having that, you want to look at the sign that comes before, and you're gonna be having a yod, literally probably like the same night or the next morning, that is gonna be pointing at the moon until Pluto goes retrograde. Okay, this is gonna be some some energy. It's no matter I named it. Now I know why I titled the video this. This moon isn't just doing the most when it's a full moon. It's doing it all the way up and beyond it. Like, this is gonna be a moon that has a shadow period like no other full moon besides the eclipse. And the next moon is a new moon followed by the blood eclipse. So literally, we get one more new moon, which is gonna be the Taurus new moon. That's going to be having this beautiful stellium with everything. And we're going to get the Taurus new moon. And then we're going to be getting the blood moon in Sagittarius, which is going to be an eclipse that I talked about way back in January. So we're going to be seeing that. But that's literally here. Like I said, these next few weeks are so packed with things that we are just kind of, we're going to be like holding on to our seats, guys. This moon's trying to compete a little with the eclipse moon, but the eclipse is going to have different energy. This one is going to be doing the most with taking all of our wildest ideas and trying to bring them to reality. Like I said, there's spectrum, there's good and bad. So if you've been nothing but in a bad place and that's all you've been thinking about happening to you, you better chill. You better start trying to rework how you're thinking about yourself and how you're doing things. Do this work over here. So what you're reaping is good karma, not like more challenges for you to deal with, to understand. Because that's the way Jupiter is going to look at some of these blessings too, is it's going to rapidly start throwing things at you for emotional growth if you haven't been working on these things. Especially dealing with family and possessions. What have you been in the middle? You need to see which way you're leaning more towards if you feel like you're sitting in the middle, because, okay, yes, this moon's about balance, but it's not about teetering. There's a big difference between balancing and teetering, because balance, you feel secure and you know what's going on. If you were to balance Scorpio and Taurus energy, it would be owning your self-worth and not putting your value in other possessions and not allowing other people to possess you like they own you. It's like having that balance and that security. That would be balance. If you're teetering, it's gonna be more like, am I people pleasing to where I'm making my environment comfortable, or am I like kind of losing my shit a little bit and being extremely possessive over certain things because I feel very insecure? It's like you're teetering back and forth between what you're trying to do. There's a big difference. So that's kind of what that feels like. For those that have those Leo placements, like I was saying, it's going to be the same thing balancing between your Leo placements and Saturn. Like having, like, do you have balance or are you teetering is pretty much what that is too. And that's like Grand Cross energy added on, so it squares all over it's just, there are so many squares in this freaking thing. It's ridiculous. And the whole time the moon is in Scorpio, there's squares. Like, it's a little bit ridiculous. Once the moon starts moving into Sagittarius, it'll feel a little less like we're already feeling it. Like, we're starting to feel that weirdness happening because these next 2 days, having Uranus conjunct Venus, doing some unexpected shit, and it's going to be doing the same thing with Mercury. And then we're going to be having freaking full moon shadow right after that, and then Pluto retrograde right after a freaking yod right after the full moon. There's a lot. If you felt like this weekend was going to be quiet, it is not. This is not quiet energy at all. Taurus is a fucking bull. It will go in and break shit. Yeah, if you're trying to do better and you're becoming more aware, that's what is needing to be worked on. So just, as long as you're being aware and you know, how many squares is a lot. Just for this one, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just in this chart by itself, not even aspecting anyone's stuff, there's 6. So if you have anything aspecting parts of this that are close to these degrees where these squares are happening, if you have any Taurus placements, you have extra added squares. If you have any Aquarius placements that are okay, Nightbot, you're weird. If you have anything that is kind of middle Aquarius, like around 12 degrees, then you're going to have more squares. Same with middle Scorpio placements. It's like the same thing. It's like going all the way around. If you have like, I'm literally listing these things and thinking I have all this shit that I'm listing. But if you have early degree Cancer, mid degree, early degree, Aries things, like, I'm just staring at this and going, I have all these freaking things. But anyways, besides me looking at this over here and going, okay, I have a lot more squares than I thought. All of your natal squares plus these, and then on top of that, the ones your natals are making to these transits, there's a lot of squares. There's just going to be a lot of challenges being pushed up with this full moon. But it's for growth. That's the big thing we have to remember, is this moon being fixed energy, it's making us stabilize what we started. Because once we stabilize it and we're moving into these mutable signs where the nodes are, which is why we have eclipses, is when we have the nodes in the same signs as the moon and the sun, when these different new moons and full moons are happening. These are going to be mutable eclipses, which means whatever we have fixed and grounded, we're going to have all of this energy to put into it and kind of bend it to what we want. So anything we ground, we're going to have the opportunity to make it bend to our advantage, or if you're not paying attention, make it even worse. So you need to definitely set yourself up here. If you're working on awareness and your actions, maybe put things down more physically. Like, you can have objects you put intention to, whether it's carrying a crystal in your pocket and, like, every time you touch it, it reminds you to be conscious of what you're saying, be conscious of what you're eating, be conscious of what you're drinking, whatever you need to be conscious of. Like, these are just examples. You can have things like that, so that way it's like something physical keeps reminding you and bringing you back to the present, because that's what intention setting is. That's why certain people are like, oh, you can use crystals, but it's the intention you put in it. You can do the same for objects you're always touching. I mean, you can do intention with your damn phone. If you're on your phone a lot and you put like an intention that when you're touching it, you're going to remember to do something, it's like that kind of thing as well. You can set alarms to bring awareness and intention. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, it's all about making you more aware of what you're thinking. That's what intention is supposed to do. Is it's supposed to bring you more and make you aware of what you're doing. So that way, what intentions you're making are actually what you're working on instead of all this scattered shit. Now, also, we have to realize the reason that we're going to be able to be extremely emotional at this moon is because Scorpio likes burying things a lot. And having this impulsive Mars energy and this expressive emotional sign of Cancer, even though it might shrink away when it feels like it's being attacked, it gets very protective over certain things. And if those things, whatever those are to you, for a lot of people it is family, but whatever it is that is your security, if it's being attacked, there's gonna be something deep that comes up. And that's why I'm saying you need to be careful of knowing when and where is the right place to express certain things, because if you just become straight up volatile and you're yelling obscenities at people, you might get put in a sane asylum. Just saying, that's a major thing you need to chill out with. There's definitely an energy here of dropping a lot of old shit, especially stuff that's been very buried, in a big way, because it's all connecting back to Jupiter. And like I said, this energy is like tons gearing up and moving forward. Like I already said before, Taurus energy, everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be like a lot steadier. If anything, this is an upheaval, guys. This Taurus energy is coming through and saying, like, what have you not grounded, and what is it that you have grounded that needs to fucking go, is pretty much what's going on. Like, what are you doing? Everything dealing with Taurus: finances, security, self-worth, your environment, this everything you value. It's like everything's being put on this huge forefront here, and like, where are you like taking a stand? And how are you taking a stand? Are you taking it with grace, or are you being the bull in the china shop and just breaking every damn thing and causing a scene? Because that isn't going to help you whatsoever. If anything, that will go against you, and it will make you seem very unstable. To where if you do have anything going on in the realm of like court or anything like that, it'll just look really bad on you. If you're dealing with someone doing that, then hell, it's gonna do good for you because they're making an ass of themselves. But just know all these energies I'm saying are going to be there. Whether you're the one doing them or people around you are doing it, these energies are here. So don't allow other people that are letting this energy rile them up to like this freaking volcano stage get you too. Like, this is really about like the power you can have by taking back the energy you would put into other people being freaking brats. Because this is also an energy of refusing to change when everything is pushing you to. And the people doing that are gonna be so freaking asinine. Especially when it comes to money. There's gonna be some greedy ass people showing their asses. And if you're in that kind of energy, you need to reevaluate what the hell you're doing and why you're doing things. If you're not coming from a good place and you're coming from a place of greed, this is gonna like springboard a bite in the ass. Trying to think if there's anything else I'm seeing here. A lot of these other things I've already talked to you guys about in previous ones. Yeah, I think that's about it for this chart.